Hey guys, grow the farm up. We are here looking at some seed corn at about 2 leaves that is emerging and growing through the standing cover crop. And for those of you that are wondering if you can see it, make sure you can see it in the video. Yes, that is a deer blind on the last tower of my pivot. And you can put it anywhere you want. Flip it around up against this river bottom in the deer season. So that's pretty cool little piece of, I don't know, what do you want to call that, country engineering maybe. So anyway, here we are. Let's take a look. Boy, that looks like a pretty good row of corn. I came over here and stuck my shovel in the ground like so, and it just falls in. I dug this one up, and the first thing that I saw was 3 rootworms. Excuse me, 3 earthworms. I keep saying not rootworms, but there you go, earthworm. Okay, there's a worm. Here's a worm. Look at this root structure. I mean, very good moisture. You know, as I said, we've got the pivot running right there, so the pivot just came across this. It should be just soaking wet, but let's take a look here at the emergence. You know, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, we counted 20 off. Spacing is average on that row, but you didn't miss a single one. Let's come over here a little bit and see what we got. That should be right there, but otherwise spacing pretty good. That's what I do, is I count off 20 and I see, and some of these are male rows that get planted twice, so when you see completely imperfect planting, that's just male planting. But let's take a zoom in and look down this row here. See all that nice green filling in? That is going to grow up and put this cereal rye, clover, and vetch overwintering covering crop in the rear view. And look at how much this the cereal rye has laid down. And I told you it would lay down. I told you when we were planting that it will lay down and give all of its nutrients back, because you're not harvesting, you're not removing any of the nutrients from the field. You've just created a circle where the root rhizosphere is alive 365 days a year, moving nutrients, moisture, and everything through it, so that when you plant your seed into it, you're planting into live, living soil. This particular corn did just get sprayed with Dyflex about, let's see, 5 days ago. So you can tell too. You guys that know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. Dyflex is just a weed herbicide, a very good one for palmers. And even though we've got such great cover crop stand like this, we had a lot of little itty bitty tiny palmers coming, where we did just where just the little bit of dirt that we moved to get the seed planted, there's, you know, in places hundreds of little teeny ones coming. Let's take a look in a really thick cover crop spot right here. Here we go. Yeah, winter. Okay, let's stick the shovel in the ground and see what we see. Boy, that just falls in. That's a 6-inch. It's a shovel and a let me get my camera set up here. It's a shovel and a tape measure in one, so it's 6 inches deep. Now here we go. With this nice moist soil, it should just come right out of the ground as it is. Look at that. Oh wow, look at that. With down in the hole. Look down in the hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 earworm. Or I said it again. Earworms. Earthworms. They are earthworms, not earworms. Sorry for all of that. I get out here. I start looking at these rhizospheres. I get excited, and sometimes the terminology goes out the window. So here's part of the soil that we dug up. Look at that. Look at how, I mean, inches down. Like there's another earthworm in there. I mean, inches down. It's good moist soil, but look, it's not muddy. And look at that rhizosphere there, and look at all of the root hairs. And someone made a great comment in another video. They used the term root exudates. Yes, correct. Very good. These roots are showing excellent exudates, which means that you have good biology, good balanced organic matter. Look at that. There's another. I mean, look, the earthworms are breeding. You know, there's a baby earthworm. I mean, just very, very healthy. Look at that. Look at that rhizosphere on that corn plant. Look, there's another little baby earthworm right there. I mean, just so living and alive. Look at that soil. Remarkable. And look at that corn plant's roots. And we cut some off getting it out of there, but the roots are deeper than the plant is tall, which is what I'm always going for. You can see the old seed and the upsprout and the upsprout and the taproot is down here. This is the taproot. This is the upsprout, and then here's your brace roots. You want to get as much space as you can between the seed and the brace roots, I have found. So plant your corn 2 inches deep. You know, err on the side of 2 1/4 inches deep, not 1 1/2 inches deep. That's just my observations. Let's take a crosswalk here and take a look at both angles, and we'll see how the sun hits this. We got the sun basically kind of midday. Found a lot of times sometimes filming this stuff later in the day or earlier in the morning works better, but we'll see how this comes out. I can't really see that much of what I'm filming, but we'll just take a crosswalk. We'll look at another row here. Let's zoom back in or out, whatever you want to call it. Just pick a row, any old row. Here we go. And just get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pretty decent spacing. Wish that one was right there. Otherwise, not bad. Let's take a look here at what our soil looks like. Now, as we showed you, remember we're 6 inches deep. We're a shovel and a ruler. How cool is that? So, you know, I don't think we can get underneath the full root rhizosphere to show it to you. We're going to cut some of that taproot. Need to get a spade to actually get underneath that. And boy, we're going to break the... Sure, there, look at this. Yeah, this is coming up nice. This will be interesting to see what we come up with here. Yeah, look at that. Just cutting it right in half, right where the furrow, right where the planter planted it. You can see this is going to be a really good one, maybe, if I don't screw it up. How do I not screw this up the best? Well, not that way. Okay, there. I mean, I don't know. I kind of screwed that one up, but... Look at this soil. Look at that soil. I mean, it's like peat moss. I don't need to go to Walmart and buy peat moss. I already got it. There's another earthworm right there. Another earthworm. Tell you what, if you wanted to go fishing on the creek today, you wouldn't have to but dig up one scoop shovel. Okay, now let's take a look at how this... Look at that. Yeah, just nice porous soil. Look at all of the roots. Look at there goes a worm. He's digging in there. Digging in, trying to get away from me. He says, leave me alone. I'm doing you good. Why are you digging me up? Don't worry, buddy. I'm not going to put you on the end of the hook. I'm going to put you right back and let you keep doing your thing. Look at how many roots the roots are putting out. This would have been a really good example, but I did definitely screw it up. Let's grab a. Let's take a look. Let's take a crosswalk look this way, and then we'll grab another row. Okay, we'll see how the zoomed in, what kind of slow looks, and then we'll get up close and a little more personal with the corn. I mean, you know. Okay, and remember, this cover crop was probably 2 feet tall when we planted into it. And here, my shadow's right in the way. Maybe that's a good thing, I don't know. Here, look at the corn emerging. I should say emerged, and now at 1, 2, 3 leaves and a flag leaf. That was quick. I mean, this was planted 12 days ago. That's how you do it. That's how you get really top quality seed and really good cover crop coverage, helping to hold down the moisture. Now that these right here, these root rhizosphere of these rye plants are shut down, they're no longer taking up, they're giving back all of the nutrient, all of that, Oh, there's another earthworm. They're giving back the nutrients. This plant tissue, as I said it would, is laying down. It's not all laying down, but look, the vast majority of it, see? It will all, by another couple weeks, it'll all be on the ground. And you kind of want it to lay over a little slowly, because now you see you've got your corn up and started. So if this were to lay over on top of it, it ain't gonna hurt your corn a bit. Just little tricks I've learned over the years. Let's dig one more up, because roots are fun, especially in crops like this, especially when they're right behind the pivot. And see what we got. Boy, look at that. See that giant worm right there? Look at that worm. Look at that root structure. Look at that root structure go. We're chopping it off. It goes down in another 6-8 inches deeper. Like, you can see the taproot right there, and it's continuing to go deeper. Yeah, it's still going. That's probably all of 9 to 10 inches deep, and we just broke that one off like a dummy. But boy, look at that soil. And so, this field has not been tilled in 7 years, 8 years. So I think it's 7 years. It's been in no-till, and it's been in regenerative cover crops pretty steadily for over a decade. Organic matter of over 4%. Find I have to spray the least herbicides on fields like this, but I still do have to. You can't. The Palmer amaranth is wicked. Look at that. Look at that. The soil. Look at the roots. Look at that. I hope the camera's doing that justice. And then your brace roots, and look there. We broke a lot of those off, but also remember, hey, there's a nice earthworm there. Remember, this was planted. This is June 9th. This was planted like the 27th. 28th of, it's quite remarkable how quickly it moves. This is I think it's planted the 26th of May. I have to go back and look, but it's right in there. It's like 24th to the 28th. And now here we are, the 9th of June, and you're at 3. Some guys count different. I don't count the flag leaf. So I'd call that 3-leaf corn plus a flag leaf. Collar, 1, 2, 3 collar corn. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it. But what do you guys think? As far as soil health and organic matter and roots growing deep, standability and quality, I don't know that you're gonna match this as far as a actual germinating seed for quality to be grown next year. in 2024. Boy, I'm sure going to keep some of this and plant it on my farm, and do that with a lot of stuff. My seed is kind of unique to grow my own seed through C-Tech Genetics and all of their licensing and cutting edge genetics that they have access to, and we have access to, and the latest and best technologies. And then also seed stock for seed corn and the inbred crosses. So this looks pretty good behind the pivot. Like I said, keep in mind, just got dinged pretty good with Dyflex, which, you know, I didn't want to have to do it, but you got to do it. And you're always going to ding the field a little bit when you're putting on Dyflex. And or any 2,4-D crops status. I mean, you're going to ding your corn up a little bit. I have found naturally inoculating it to the 2,4-D growth regulator early is good, and actually a good rate of Dyflex early on can lay the corn on the ground for a couple days. And I remember when I first started spraying it, call my rep up and say, "What the heck did you spray out there? My corn's laying on the ground." And it stands back up, and in fact it was my highest yielding corn that year. And then when I had to come back and spray a couple ounces of status just to take care of a few palmers and water hemps that wanted to escape, you know, it really didn't hurt the crop or stop the crop from growing. You know, they call them growth regulators because they regulate the growth. They're contact kill herbicides, and they soak into your corn plant, and they essentially stop the plant from growing for, I want to say 100 heat units. I mean, basically a week. And you know, that's what people are talking about when they say herbicides knock out nutrients. It's like I could have taken a tissue test of this right before I sprayed it, and then I could have taken a tissue test of this the day after I sprayed it, and it would be two entirely different results, completely misleading. In fact, don't take tissue tests for 10 days after any herbicide application for that reason. Is actually what the protocol is when you're doing the tissue testing and things like that. So, you know, for the fact that it's just starting to come out of its and starting to grow back again, I mean, you can see the outer leaves dinged a little bit. I mean, that's just the nature of farming, but you got to keep your seed fields clean, because you don't want me putting a bunch of weed seed in your bag for next year. You know, it's a nice hot day. We just walk right under this pivot here, and we can get out in front. Oh yeah, that's a nice cool off. You can see, you know, this looks very much the same, and will greatly benefit from the water that is coming oh so very shortly, and has all of the same root structure and, you know, the same organic matter. I've just found you cannot build organic matter with a cash crop only, and especially with seed corn. Seed corn has so much less biomass behind the plant itself and the yield itself that it's very tough to build organic matter unless you're doing something with cover crops. So that's kind of as we talked about in that video, Regenerative Ride, the story of how we got here and how we arrived at this conclusion and got us started farming this way. You know, my organic matters, once you get those above 4, tell you what, farming becomes very, very forgiving. All right, guys, I'm gonna get back to it, grow the farm up.